All right, y'all. Welcome back to another Fourth Friday Fun Working live stream here in Spread the Positive Studios. I'm one of your hosts, Trent Denson, and we got a room full and a hallway full of folks that are going to be rotating in and out. Super pumped to have everybody. And as always, I'm going to pass it off to our fearless leader that knows what's going on more than me, Miss Jessica Bryan. Let's go.
Thank you. I might be the leader, but Trent is the host with the most. So thanks for letting us come into your space and hosting and all the things that we're doing. I'm super excited. We have a 3-month follow-up tonight.
Woo.
And instead of doing a bunch of other stuff and then getting to that, why not just go ahead and do the exciting thing, right?
Wow,
It's almost like having dessert first.
I love it. I love it.
We're
But
dessert.
y'all are
You're
dessert.
welcome.
You're dessert
That's
first.
because they're so sweet.
Yeah, we'll go with that. But even before that, happy birthday, Pat.
Yay, Pat! Happy
We're
birthday!
celebrating another trip around the sun, and excited to see what she does in the next year. We've all just met, so I mean, it feels like we're old friends, but really, we've all just met. So, but 3 months ago on Fourth Friday, Jen jumped into the Shark Tank with Pat, and I guess that's an exercise, that you do to get to a core belief.
That's part of one that I did.
Grab that mic.
This
Pat.
one?
Yep. I know it's heavy. I know.
Weightlifting.
Right. It's part of it. It's one exercise in a whole program. So it's a very tiny, small part of it. But yeah, we took it to a certain level that I felt comfortable taking someone that, the whole world was going to hear. Mm-hmm. And of course, you go deeper and all that when you can. But I have to say something. This lady took it and ran with it. I would take 10 more people like you, because just with that one little thing, you took it and ran with it. So yeah, it was a simple exercise that you ran with. I can only say that 5 more times before y'all get bored, right?
No, that's okay.
But you did. What else did you want to know?
Just what you would call that exercise and what it was. But so out of that came this really incredible affirmation, and then Jen made the commitment for 90 days, so for 3 months, writing that affirmation 3 times a day. I think, was it 3 times a day or once a day?
Did one.
Just once a day.
But now I'm feeling like an underachiever that I didn't know. Just kidding.
So once a day, she wrote this affirmation and she sent it to Pat, and did that for 90 days. And so now we get to follow up. And the affirmation was,
I am a valuable, worthwhile child of God.
Amen. So, and then we issued a challenge. So as they're telling their story, if you took that challenge and if you wrote that affirmation for 90 days, we would love to hear from you.
Yes.
Don't know if anybody did, but we'd love to hear the results of that. So I think y'all just take it away. What was this experience like for you? What did it, when you started thinking about it, where did you go with it? Did you dive deeper? What was your experience?
Okay, so 90 days ago, when I first met this sweet, lovely woman, it was a little intimidating to have that conversation. No, not you, but I mean, it was vulnerable, right? And I feel like I feel like a decently brave human. But some of the questions, I was like, I don't know if I want to answer this, honestly. So one of the things that Pat and I talked about after off mic, I was like, I think I could have been a little more honest, but the affirmation was still necessary, right? And I told her I was like, I don't feel like I don't see myself as valuable, but I noticed that every time I said it, it still felt like a good reminder. And so you were really kind and patient with me, saying, well, if it felt like a reminder, you probably still needed to hear it. But I really, it led me down. It was like when we did that exercise, it was almost like you were taking me down a corridor, and we opened the first door. And then through that process, I was really prayerful and reflecting and asking God, what are some other roots that are even deeper than this that we can go into? And so I reflected at my home life, at work, in our other side business with my husband and I. I said, what are some other areas that I really struggle with that is maybe like the next door down the corridor? And I realized it's feelings of being ill-equipped and lacking, almost like if I had a tool bag and I was missing the tool that was necessary for whatever task was needed.
So that's where the whole worth thing came from.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
like if I don't
I-
have the right tool, I'm not worthwhile.
Yeah, you
Give
tie
her
it
the
all
mic.
right back together.
Give her the mic. You have another mic, Jen.
I'm sorry.
That's yours. You're
This
good.
is my, I get the heavy one. huh?
You're good. Sorry.
That was the beauty of it. Is
Yeah.
when you, and that's probably not your core one.
Yeah.
All right, because I'm not going to do that on air.
Yeah.
All right. But the point is that applied to everything that you wanted to apply it to.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the one thing that impressed the heck out of me.
Oh, yeah?
I can't say hell on this show, right? But anyway, what impressed the heck out of me was you went to a certain point and then you saw something.
Yeah.
You made up your own affirmation, and all I did was say, I just want to make sure you're writing it in the right way so that
Yes.
it's positive and you're not inadvertently. Not very many people do that. What
Yeah.
was the affirmation that you made up for yourself?
Yeah, yeah. So as I was praying about it, I felt like out of that feeling of missing pieces and feeling of lack, what I felt like God had showed me was the Lord has equipped me because He has called me. I have all that I need.
And that's one of the most beautiful affirmations I've heard.
Wow.
And that's what happens is when you start working with this, we can get, and you did this yourself, kudos.
You inspired me.
You get them so accurate for
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
That may not mean a thing to anybody else, but because you were willing to look at it and take yourself there,
Yeah.
you came up with one that in a million years I couldn't have gotten out of you. So that says a lot.
And I said both of them because I was like, that it wasn't like anything I said on air wasn't true. It just wasn't as deep as I could have gone. And we talked about,
Well,
obviously
and here's the thing. I wouldn't let you go that deep on air.
Yeah.
Because the work that I do goes really deep.
Yeah.
And you don't need to have that all out there. Nobody does, okay? That just makes you more vulnerable, and you don't need that.
Yeah.
So this was just a sample so that people could see how it worked.
Yeah.
But was it as deep as we could go? Oh, hell no.
Yeah.
Okay?
But I was surprised, though, that there was something, because even I told you that I feel like a worthy person, but it was at the subconscious level that there
Yes.
were, because
Yes.
guess what? If I was worthy, if I showed up with the wrong tool, I would still be valuable.
Yep.
And so the fact that feeling like not having the right tool would make me no longer valuable still means that there are some issues of
Absolutely.
worth there.
Absolutely.
So it was still a good reminder for me to say both affirmations. And then I found that when I would engage with a challenging situation, I would say that second affirmation and be like, you know what? God has put me here. So the things that this person in front of me, like a patient, I'm a physical therapist. So maybe a patient that had a really challenging situation, and all the traditional things that maybe have worked in the past weren't working. And I'd be like, you know what? I have, because God has equipped me, I have the things that this person needs
Absolutely.
for today. And I noticed that I was showing up for people differently.
Wow, imagine that. huh?
Go figure.
I mean,
Yeah.
Now, here's the other thing that I want you to keep in mind. On a conscious level, you got this.
Yeah.
Okay, I want you to know that subconsciously what we were doing is working on a subconscious belief that you don't know about.
Yeah.
And everybody has one. Okay? And that's kind of the underlying message that goes through our lives.
Yeah.
A core belief that at a subconscious level you believe, but it's categorically untrue. I mean, it just isn't. And we spend our lives trying to disprove that.
Yeah.
So in effect, what you were also doing is you've got this file, at least a partial file somewhere that says I'm not worthy.
Yeah.
Okay, that's playing back there, especially in some situations. Part of the goal of this, Jen, was to build a bigger file that says you are.
Yeah.
Because you can't ever take that other one away, right? But man, can you build a bigger file? Mm-hmm. So there's two birds with one stone there.
Yeah.
You got a lot of it on a conscious level, but there's also a lot going on and is still going on that is going to serve you.
Yeah. And then the other thing that you said you really appreciated, the first couple days, I had a hard time remembering. And then I realized, and we had talked about this, the send later function on the text. Because I kept waiting for the iPhone to be able to do this because your phone could do it already. And now the iPhone can do this send later function. If you don't know about it, it's magical. It's magical. It's in the same spot where like the gifts and everything like that are. And so anyway, what I would do, I scheduled it out as long as it would let me, which was like 2 weeks at a time. And I would schedule it for 7 a.m. every single day. It would automatically send her. So I still typed it out, but a bunch of them all at once. And it would send her a text message. And then when you would respond, I'd be like, oh yeah, I need to say my affirmation. So I would leave your text message unread until I remembered to have time to open it, say the affirmation, think about it, reflect on it.
See, that tells you how invested you were.
Yeah. I was in
Okay,
it
it
to
wasn't,
win it.
oh, we did this little thing on there and it's so cool. No, you were invested enough to
Yeah.
come up with a way. And by the way, I've passed that on to about 2 or 3 other clients. So be impressed.
'Cause
You're spitting it.
We had talked about too that sometimes, you said sometimes people will give you some resistance to this task. And I said, well, if it was me, the only resistance was, oh man, that's one more thing I have to remember. And I already feel like I'm carrying so much information all at once in my brain. So even though it's a small thing, it's one more thing. And they say the straw that broke the camel's back for a reason. It's that one last little bit that was too much. And I think that extra expectation, that burden of carrying one more piece of mental load is sometimes a barrier to entry for people. And this removes that.
Exactly.
So send later.
Exactly. So like I said, I passed that on to several more clients.
And if you hadn't texted me back, that it was a partnership, like you said. So
Yes, that's the whole idea.
Yeah.
I text everyone back.
Yeah.
Just because we need recognition. We have account. We also need recognition. We're human beings for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Okay? So of course you needed that.
And
but the
accountability.
Yeah.
It's like having a gym buddy.
But here's the other thing, the one you're really accountable to is
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
But to have somebody going behind you.
Yeah, cheering you on.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And the go ahead.
No, finish what you're saying.
I don't remember it. That's okay. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think it's cool that you already notice differences in your work.
Yeah.
That was going to be one of my questions was, have you seen it show up? Have you seen the effect of it already?
Yeah, because think about what it feels like when you feel like I'm not equipped for what's in front of me. You show up a lot more fearful, and there's like that internal anxiety of like, oh man, what do I do? They're still not better. I've tried everything. This doesn't make a lot of sense. But now I'm like, I'm trusting that God has put me here for some reason, and I don't know what that is. Maybe it's not the immediate issue that's directly in front of me, like if it's their shoulder. Maybe it's not even about their shoulder, and it just takes the weight off of me. And there was a woman the other day who I'm thinking of, and this issue has just not, she's got some serious neurological issues, and it's just not getting any better. And I grabbed her hands the other day, and it was the wildest moment. I grabbed her hands and I looked deep in her eyes, and I was like, this is going to get better. I need you to speak life over your leg, and I need you, anytime you're tempted to say, this isn't going to get better, this isn't going to heal, every time you're tempted to say that, you stop and you say, this is getting better, this is getting better, and you think of me, and it was like a game changer. I didn't even touch her leg.
Jen.
That's powerful.
Wow.
Jen. just stop now. Okay? Just stop. Yeah. So what you can do now, and I will always support you in helping you write affirmations, because how you write them is critical.
Yeah.
Do you realize that you can give every single one of your patients an affirmation?
Wow.
That's great. I like that.
You're spreading the positive.
Hey.
You're spreading the positive.
Shameless plug.
Yeah.
Oh, he paid me.
Checks in the mail. Yeah. Checks in the mail.
Did you have other questions, Jessica? Because I know you had some things you wanted to know.
I'm just blown away. I don't know if I have any good questions. Y'all covered so much ground. I feel like you've covered any questions that I could have asked. What now? Like the 90 days is over.
Yeah.
You've done it. Are you going to continue with the affirmation? Are you going to do a new affirmation? Are you going to, Pat saying yes, you're going to
Yeah.
continue with the affirmation.
Yeah, and I think it's. I mean, you said a new affirmation. I didn't even think about that. I think, I think that's something to be prayerful and reflective about. I mean, like you said, there's even deeper layers to this, right?
And here's the thing. When you're ready to go for it, let me know.
Yeah.
All right? But people don't usually go for that unless it's causing them an issue
Yeah.
until you run into something right here.
Yeah.
Okay? My answer to that is always, you know what, you don't have to be sick to get better. And I've had some people come in and just say, I want more, I want better, and we go for it. But you don't have to. Please keep on doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I also said to you, if you want to keep sending them to me, if that supports you, please do that.
Yeah.
It's a text. I mean,
Yeah.
you ought to see my texts in the morning.
I bet
I
there
bet it's
rows
crazy.
and rows and rows of
Oh
them.
my gosh. Yeah, that's
Yes.
good.
I got something I can add to that.
Okay.
Because I've been doing affirmations with Pat too for 4 or 5 weeks now, probably. And I've noticed I've kind of like adapted them a little bit and like added a little bit as I go. And one of mine was a financial type thing, and like hit that goal. So now I'm like, I'm gonna add some zeros to that, and I'm gonna continue doing this process. And I've seen it and I've felt it. Like you feel it on a spiritual level. Like if you just have these constant reminders that, and I've been writing them out. It's helped me tremendously to write them out.
I should do that.
And I would highly encourage you to do it, Jen. It's and like my handwriting's sloppy. Like I got and I do them pretty quick, and it's not it's not a it's not a contest for
blurry photos.
yeah.
Funny.
And I try to get them the lighting right and the cell
I'll give
phone
you
right.
something go ahead.
But yeah, just the fact that I've done that one for like a month or so, hit that goal, and I'm feeling better about, like the, I forgot, I mean, I basically started a couple days ago, but it went from being a deserving, worthy child of God to a deserving, wealthy, worthy child of God or something. Just a little, why not? Like, that's what we're all striving for.
Exactly.
And there's no shame in wanting that and being out there and deserving that. And just that extra word is so powerful. So I've started doing that, and again, just having that constant reminder has been super powerful.
And you talked about writing them.
Yeah, writing them is powerful.
Here, I'll have you add something else to it. Say them out loud
Yeah, I do.
while you're writing them.
And celebrate.
And celebrate that.
Let me
So-
get the celebratory online.
Yeah, I make, not everybody, but I make people, some people celebrate afterwards. We don't celebrate ourselves.
Yeah.
Come on, So if you write them, say them out loud, and you watch yourself. That's auditory, visual, and kinesthetic. All you're learning.
Oh, let's go.
Okay? Now, when you celebrate, guess what does that do for you, Trent?
It just makes it real.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
What
it makes-
happens to, those of you that know about, there you go, right there. It releases dopamine, which is happy and positive and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then, well, you know what I love about this? It's just one tiny little thing,
Yeah.
and all the stuff we can do around it.
But it's powerful. And we know these things. Like, we've heard affirmations for years.
Yeah.
Like, do your affirmations. There's I've heard something to the effect of like writing it out makes it 3x more, saying it out loud makes it 7x or 10x more. So just like actually doing it, believing it, receiving it, it's and it's proven. This isn't like we're reinventing anything. This isn't, respectfully, Pat, you're not.
Oh, no.
You're not reinventing
I will be the first one to tell you that I
You're like,
didn't invent it. I just make it applicable is what
Yeah,
I do.
That's
I,
it.
I think the significant thing is the accountability.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's so huge. I mean, because I'd say most of us in here, if not all, have done affirmations. We've attempted to do them daily.
Yep.
And then, the neglect is the first step to quitting. And so we neglect it for a day, and then we neglect it for another day. And then next thing you know, it's been 6 months and we've not said an affirmation or written an affirmation or looked at an affirmation. But knowing that there's somebody counting on us, right? So even if we miss a day, we want to get back on track because we know that you're you're waiting for that text, and that you're going to notice that it's gone. You know, it's not like, you know, you were texting it to you and you're not responding, or we believe you're not paying attention, right? Because
She is.
we know
Oh,
that you
believe
are,
me.
because you know, you respond, and you know, and we know that just because of the person that you are, you're going to notice when we
Yep.
miss a day, and you would definitely notice if we miss 2 or 3 days, and hopefully you would go, hey, I noticed you're missing.
I would
No,
not do that.
you would not do that.
I would not do that.
Maybe we should be
She
requesting
doesn't.
that
She
you do
doesn't
that.
do that.
But
I've sent a couple days at a time. I've sent a couple.
but I mean, I think for us, it's, we want to, the accountability. You know, we because of who you are, right? I think if we were being accountable to somebody else, we might not care as much.
That's fair.
But I think because of the relationship and the rapport that
There's that.
we've built with each other, I think we want to be accountable.
Yeah, of course. But you know what the other thing is, even more important than that, is what's the one thing I did with each of you to get to that affirmation? I gave you a frickin' reason to use it and to apply it to something that's in your life right now. Mm-hmm. It wasn't just something you read in a book. Mm-hmm. We actually took whatever it was and applied it to your stuff.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Now, no, I would not remind you. Do you know why? What would your guess? And it's not because
Guilt
I'm...
and shame. Because then we'd feel guilt and shame for missing it.
There's
Because-
that's part of it.
Because if we were committed to it, we would get ourselves back on track.
That's part of it.
Oh boy, hit us with it. Come on.
Because then you would grow to depend on me. Okay? That's not doing you any favors. I mean, I could croak tomorrow. Come on. Okay? And I don't
Don't
like
put that
talking-
out there.
Yeah.
Speak live, speak live.
We'd be lost.
But here's yeah, you know, I could decide to retire tomorrow.
Don't do that either.
And then and then you're up the creek without, because I'm making you dependent.
Yeah.
I will not make anyone dependent on me.
That's smart.
But by the same token, when you come back 2 weeks later and go, come on, let's go. Let's get
Yeah.
back on the thing.
That's right.
Because it's not about anything other than that. And the thing about that then is then you get the credit for bringing yourself back.
All right.
sense?
And I love that you celebrate that. Not, oh, it's about time,
Oh,
but just a celebration, right? Because I know one of the things that Jen had said was she knew herself well enough to know that if she didn't do it, then she would feel guilt and shame over not. You know, if she did forget days, and so that's where the schedule feature came in. And I think it's important to know. I guess we all know this, but for anybody watching that said, "Oh my gosh, whatever they've got going on, I need to be a part of it," is that there is no guilt and shame there.
oh God, no.
You know, and if you did fall off and then come back, or even if you fell off and never came back, there would never be guilt and shame.
Right.
That's right.
And that's huge. You know, that's huge.
Guilt
Huge.
and shame never did anything but make people worse,
Yep.
That's
as
facts.
far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's even from like a physiologic level. Like you think
Okay.
about why these affirmation works. Your reticular activating system in your brain is your brain's filter system, right? And you give it input to tell it this is the way that this is the information that I should take in and filter as important, and it colors the way you see the world around you. So with your affirmations, if you're putting in that positivity and saying good things about yourself, your filter system is going to save that information. If you're putting in shame and guilt, that filter system is going to say, I'm a piece of garbage. I never meet any of my
Absolutely.
goals. And your brain's going to save that too. And it's going to give you more information because brains are inherently energy conserving. And so your brain is going to save that as your new identity. I'm a shameful piece of garbage who never accomplishes any of the goals I set out to meet. And then your brain's going to look for more information that supports that. So even if you mess
Yep.
up, the best thing that you can do is be like, well, you know, at least I did it 2 days this week. So it still
Exactly.
feels like a win instead of being like, oh, I missed, you know.
And that's why
5
a
days.
celebration is in order every time you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love mine's. Whatever it takes, however silly it is, okay? Because now when you laugh at it, it enforces it even more.
Yep.
It's all about being there for you.
All right, I gotta call our guy out here. This handsome man that's just sitting here. This is just sitting here. I was a bad host not introducing everybody, but my guy Kevin Sanders is in the building. Kevin, man, yeah, thank you for coming, Kevin. Thank you for Kevin. Man, just chime in. I know this is speaking to you. I know you have some motivational. You do a lot, man. So just talk to us, man. What are you thinking right now?
I'm just listening. I'm enjoying. I'm enjoying and I'm listening. You all don't know much about my past, so I'm a 14-year-old Army vet. I've seen evil. I've been through evil, and I do have something they don't like to talk about, which is PTSD. But as my former brothers and sisters, I chose to make a difference than having to sit back and let it take effect on me and to destroy my life. So what I've done, probably in the last 2 years after my divorce and after a bad relationship, I started looking in the good of everything.
Yes.
And so I made a couple of videos and I let it go for about probably almost a year on TikTok. And something inspired me one day to start making more videos. And I have a psychology background with my MBA. And my mother's always telling me, she goes, that's probably why you do so well in business, is because you just know how to read body language so stinking well. Yes. However, so what I do is I like to research, I like to motivate, I like to inspire, I like to uplift. And it's like what your gals are saying. It's the subconscious mind. If you get up and you tell the world and you tell yourself, this is going to be a great day. If I can make one person smile a day, if I can make a gesture to somebody to make them look at themselves and think, okay, I've got this. I can do this. You're going to change the world one person at a time.
Amen.
Amen. Let's go.
Kevin,
Yes,
Spread the
ma'am.
positive to
would
it
you
too.
come on my podcast?
Absolutely.
We got one. We got a guest.
No, because they need to. They need to hear it from more than me.
Right.
Oh, I forget about this thing.
That's pretty.
We're saying the same
talk
things.
into it.
And they need to hear it from more than one person.
There you go. There you go.
There we go. Are we live? One, two. Anyway, whatever. You promised me you'll do that.
Yes.
We will be in touch.
Sounds good.
Oh, that'll be fire.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, well, hey, that's a really good segue. My question for tonight was going to be to somebody that is starting a business in transition or maybe just really going through it right now. What is one piece of advice or encouragement that you would give?
Kevin. Sorry.
I was 14 years in the Army, so I had a guaranteed salary, guaranteed benefits, guaranteed retirement. And I started my business 2 years before I left, and I started it part-time. Actually, you know what? Basically, I'm going to let you know what. I started this as a small gig on the side just to pay for vacation for my family and I. Just to say, hey, if we need a piece of furniture, here's cash. If we want to go to Florida, here's cash. That's the only reason I built it. It's because I love what I did in the military, but I wanted extra money. And my mom's always told me, she goes, I always knew you were going to be an entrepreneur. So 2 years into it, and I've gone to a mentor of mine that's also in the military, very business mindset. And I said, look, I've got this much time in the military. I've got 6 more years to retire. Business is taking off. What do I do? Because I couldn't manage both.
Yeah.
I couldn't manage both. And he goes, if you don't take the leap, you're going to regret it the rest of your life. So when you're starting a business, if you're in the career mind and you start a business, there's always subjects that you got to think about. Can you financially support your family while you go on this leap? Can you take care of everything that's around you? Can you take care of your bills and all that? But if you are passionate about what you're doing and you can see yourself pushing yourself, I've always considered myself self-motivating. So I didn't see a problem. I had 2 mouths to feed. I had a mortgage. I had all this stuff, and I said, you know what? If I don't have the work, I'm gonna go knock on doors. People hate you knocking on doors, but if that's what it took, I was gonna knock on doors because I wanted it to happen. And so what I think is, we live one life. You don't never know in your days that you're not gonna wake up from your sleep. If you're passionate about what you're wanting to do to make a lifestyle for yourself, or if you're looking at something, say if you're going to 9 to 5 and you cannot stand it, and you're thinking, okay, if I did this over here and this would make my dreams come true, if it make me happier every day, no matter what that case is. I mean, heck, I'm a pressure washer window cleaning guy. And people's looking at me like, really? Like, but you'd be amazed the impact I make in the world.
Absolutely.
So my thing is, if it's going to make you happier, wealth and money comes. If you're passionate and motivated, that will always come. You've got to make it, like I said, you live one life. Be passionate, wake up, and be excited about what you do.
This gentleman is the definition of business from the inside out.
Let's go. Let's go.
Awesome.
Okay? Because you're looking out for you too. People don't think, I can't be selfish. That's horse pucky. Okay? This is business from the inside out, people. He's taking care of him and his family, and then it's coming from here, from the inside out, not all these techniques out here. And I'm getting a bunch of goosebumps here, which is that's the signal from dude that we're on the right track.
Yes, ma'am.
Ooh.
All right, Pat, you got the microphone already. So what piece of advice or encouragement would you give to somebody that's starting a business or just in business and really going through it?
I want you to remember that you have survived 100% of everything you've been through. Number 2, remember, you don't have to do this alone. I mean, aren't we demonstrating this right now?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. And it helps. You get your own.
I like that one.
Pass that one to
Casey
Casey.
Casey gets to talk.
Casey
Can
gets
I-
it, Jen.
That mic
I can't have
isn't on.
both.
No.
Like, I want both. Do I need that one or is this?
Yeah, that one's not
You
on.
have to
I'm
answer the
sorry.
question.
There's
so
a-
by singing the coconut song,
So much happening.
Okay, so
What's happening? Am I going? Is it
Yes,
is it
you're
my
going,
turn?
you're going.
Okay.
It's not that confusing.
I'm using this one because I like this one.
Oh, my goodness.
we could go places. We won't.
Okay, that works.
There.
Comfy with you.
The next person will hate that configuration.
Probably.
Yeah.
They're not here right now, so I don't.
That's it.
I want to answer both of your questions with the same answer.
Okay.
So you said either somebody that's in business, just starting out, or somebody that's really going through a hard time. And I think my answer is the same for both. Serve first. So if you're starting a new business and you're trying to figure out what to do, what population you want to serve, who your niche is, serve first. Think about the group of people that you love to serve, that it truly puts a smile on your face to wake up every day to just serve that person. Like the group of people that you would serve for free because it truly fills up your cup. If you're not in business and you're just, or if you are in business, but you're just going through a hard time, serve. Get outside of yourself. Nothing changes your perspective more than helping somebody who is in a situation that is more challenging than yours, right? If you go out and serve an underserved population in your community, nothing puts things into perspective like that. So serve first.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. All right, Casey, you're up.
So I was thinking about this, and I've mentioned it on. So I do scripture videos every day, we don't fast, like spiritually fast as much as I think we should. Any major decision should take, whether it's fasting from social media or fasting from food or whatever it may be, but we don't fast and pray like we should, and like we, really on those big decisions. So taking the time to ask God, where am I supposed to go? What am I supposed to do?
That's powerful.
Where do you want me to be? So, because we don't. So I put out a challenge to some of my Bible study group that it was like, before you buy a car, before you put, money into investments, before you go and buy anything over a certain dollar amount. Set that dollar amount in your mind. Pray and fast over it. See what God's leading you to do, or any
great.
big decision coming up.
That's great.
And don't make it on the fly just because your butt hurt over something, or just because you can. How many of us have made bad decisions because we were butt hurt over something?
I just think it's funny that you put that in the same as fast and pray. Ask God.
But it matters, and it really will guide you to where you're supposed to be and what path you're supposed to be on.
Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely agree with you. It's just funny that you said it that way. And,
You never know what's going to come out of this mouth.
And hey,
Okay,
well,
I'm done.
just real quick to the people out in the hallway, we're fixing to do fruit basket turnover. So
Yeah.
whoever wants to come in, we're going to do
Kevin,
fruit basket
Kevin, you got
turnover
some?
and flip everybody.
Hang
so
on, Kevin's got some.
I know. I'm just
I know, it's
outside the
fine.
room warning. But
Outside
yeah,
the
go
room.
for it, Kevin.
I'm going to piggyback off of what you just said. I think the two things that people focus on in our world today, the reason why they don't push themselves to the limit of where their success level is and where they can go, is doubt and fear.
Yep. Facts.
Doubt and fear will clog your mind and clog your thought process, and it will clog your heart. And if you can overcome doubt and fear, it's almost to the point where it's like a business 101. How hungry are you? How thirsty are you?
Man.
That's where it comes down to. Now, some people say, "Oh, I'm thirsty, I'm hungry," and they sit on the couch for half the day watching Netflix before they were left the door at 12 o'clock, and they expect from 12 to 5 to make it. No. You look at the billionaires and millionaires of our society. If you look at their daily routine, you're talking about 5-6 hours of sleep. The rest of it is mindset, is they meditate, they think about their day, and they tackle their day. As much people don't want to hear this word, I can't help for saying it. I'm inspired by Elon Musk. That man is a machine on his daily routine, and he doesn't skip a beat. But, I mean, doubt and fear scares the living dates out of people why they won't go from here to there.
Yep.
And you know what it is? One step at a time. You can't build an empire tomorrow. You got to go one day at a time, one step at a time.
That's fire.
I would go so far as to say, embrace doubt and fear, welcome it in, and say hello.
Yep. Let it be a driving force.
That's right. That's right.
I think a lot of it too, with you were saying about hungry and also the prayer and fasting, comfortable. Comfortable is the enemy of all forward momentum,
We
right?
don't grow in our comfort zones.
We don't, and that's the reason we will stay in fear and doubt, because it's comfortable and it's familiar, and that's the same reason a lot of people don't do the spiritual discipline of fasting, because it is uncomfortable to die to your flesh, right? You start getting hunger pains, and you're like, I don't know, is fasting really for me? I don't know about this, but those moments, that discipline, like think about what that's saying. That's surrendering. That's
And it's when you get
surrender.
those hunger pains, remember to pray over the
pray.
thing that you're
Exactly.
fasting for, not just
It's like a little
dwell in
alarm
the
clock.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
supposed to be that trigger to
Yeah.
get you to
Yes.
pray again.
Yes,
And
Lord, let me be uncomfortable.
all the time. That's like praying for patience. Do we really want to pray for that?
We got several people out in the hallway today that are anxious to come in. So
Yeah.
Arm for a minute.
Yes,
Let's
ma'am.
go.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Absolutely.
That was fire, y'all.
yeah,
Good stuff.
let's get a new group in here and see.
Thanks, Casey. Thanks,
That's
Pat.
good stuff. That's
Thanks,
good
Jen. Thanks, Kevin.
affirmation shirt too.
Yeah, affirmation shirt on point. Good stuff, man. That was
stuff.
awesome.
That is good stuff.
I can't wait for the Pat episode.
I don't know.
That's gonna be legendary.
Man, we hit so many different things in there that I don't know what's left to say at this point.
Man.
They might have taken it all.
No. Oh, yeah.
Get your chair. Hey, so while we're waiting for everybody else to come in, answer last month's question since you forgot. So last month's question was, how did you know when it was time to start your business?
To start, or
To-
to go full time start?
Either one. To take the leap. So I guess
Come
to go
on,
full
Amanda.
time.
How?
Where do you want me, Travis?
I guess I'll sit next to my sister.
Brother.
Oh wow, sibling rivalry.
Oh, here we
right?
go. Hi, my queen.
Hi.
I was the whole time I was watching. I was like, I like your doll.
Thanks.
Hi, girl. Hi.
So how did I know when it was time to start my business, right?
Take the leap.
Take the leap.
Sit over here
Full-time.
with me, or do you want to sit
So I started part-time in the financial industry quite by accident because I wanted to start planning financially, and I went to an office here in town, and they gave me a big stack of paper and said, take that home and read it and pick one out and come back in and we'll set it up for you. And I thought, well, that's some really good education.
Solid pitch.
So, so then I got in touch with somebody at the company I'm with, and they came out and educated me, showed me how to get started, and they just happened to mention that. And I was looking, right? I had went to college, didn't graduate, but I was looking for something because I was working at the electric company, and it seemed like every so often the union steward would come in and say, so you remember so and so just retired? Well, they died. We need to go to their funeral. And then a few months later, well, you remember so and so just retired a couple of years ago? They died. We need to go to the funeral. And I was like, this doesn't sound like a good exit plan to work 30 years and retire and die. So I was
just be
looking.
talked about when you're dead. Just,
Right. Yeah, I don't want to be talked about. So I have a goal of 120, so that didn't work with my plan. So anyway, I was looking, and when the guy came out and showed me how all the stuff worked, he was like, hey, you should work with us part-time. And I probably didn't look like a financial person at that point. We won't talk about that, but
I still don't think you do. No offense, I just think because you're so relatable. Like you look like that every day.
well, thank you.
You're welcome.
So I got started part-time, worked part-time while I was, learning and getting my licenses and getting kind of established in a client base. And then in 2003, I went full-time. Fired the boss, which was kind of hard, but I felt good about it. And then everything was easy. No.
Sorry,
It was a struggle, but it just kept working. We just kept working. Hey, Rhett, do you want to come say hi?
Rhett, jump on, man.
Rhett,
Oh, he's trying to get his
you
buddy.
want to come say hi?
He's trying to get.
Come over here.
Oh, careful.
Look at the camera and tell everybody hi.
Hi.
Do you want
What
to
a
say hi?
legend.
Come on.
Hi.
There we go.
Jackson saying hi. Jackson Sanders.
That's
over
awesome.
And now
So-
let's
There.
go
You can
play.
come sit over here if you want. Come on. Come sit with me.
You want to sit over here with us, Rhett?
You good? All right.
Nah.
His
So-
mama told him that he had to stay out there unless he was showing bone or bleeding.
Gotcha.
You good? You good?
Boner bleed.
All right.
So anyway, I guess the nutshell is, I think you got to feel it in your gut, and when you feel it in your gut, you got to go for it.
Yeah.
I mean, when you feel it, you got to go for it and never look back. And like they were saying in the the previous group that was in here, things are not going to always go your way, but you got to keep going, right? You got to
Big
get out of your
facts.
comfort zone and just keep going. So
That's a
there you go.
great segue into today's question. So you can start us off on that. And today's question is, what piece of advice or encouragement would you give to somebody who is starting a business, or maybe they're in business, or they have something going on and they're just really going through it right now?
Oh, you just got to not quit.
That's it.
Right there.
You just got to not quit. I mean, so many people, I've seen so many people that look sharp, that are maybe had degrees or really was slick or really had tons of talent, but when they felt like God called them to do it, then the devil started throwing stuff at
Yes,
them,
man.
right?
Let's go.
And so they just quit, right? Because their first instinct was, oh, it's hard, so God must not want me to do this. But that's totally the opposite, right? I mean, when God calls you to do something, that means the devil goes, uh-oh, I got to get after him, because now they're on mission, Before they weren't on mission, right?
Absolutely.
Right? When we weren't on our mission, the devil didn't care what we were doing because we weren't making
Not doing
an
what
impact.
you're called to do.
Right? We weren't doing what we're called to do. Great point. So, so just don't quit. You just cannot quit. You just got to keep moving forward.
Yep.
That's far.
That's so similar to what they said. The last the last fruit basket of people. They're talking about being uncomfortable, and we do. We have a tendency. We want to be comfortable. I mean, our brains want to be comfortable. Our bodies want to be comfortable.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter if it's mental, physical, or emotional. Well, maybe not emotional, mental and physical, right? Comfort is not good. Right?
Right.
If we're comfortable, we're not getting anywhere. We're not,
We're not
growing.
growing.
We're not doing anything. You think about, Casey should be in here for this part, but, you think about building muscle.
Right.
It's not comfortable. Building any kind of endurance for anything is not comfortable.
Right.
So, Travis, what would be your piece of advice or encouragement?
Two stories popped into my head, and they're quick. I'll make them quick. But years ago, I haven't thought about this in years, so it's interesting that it popped into my head while listening to the other group. But there was a business coach or a mentor or a inspirational guy that had a business, and he had two gentlemen.
Hold it up.
He had two gentlemen come to him wanting to know how he became successful. And I don't know what part of the country it was, but I know it was near the beach. So he took these two gentlemen out to the beach, took them out in the water. And hold on for a second here. It's not. There's a point to all this. But he took their heads and he held them underwater, both of them. And after a few seconds, after however long it was, all they wanted to do was breathe, right? So finally, when it got to the point where he knew he had to let them up, he did. They walked back to the beach, and he said, "When I had you out there under the water," he said, "what did you guys want more than anything?" And they said, "To breathe." He said, "When you want to be successful, as bad as you wanted to breathe out in the water," he said, "nobody will stop you."
Oh, that's
Wow.
bars.
Boom. Right there.
Yeah. So to what Kevin was saying about just every day to tackle it, go after it. The next story I actually saw it this morning is from another coach. But when he first started his coaching business, the firm handling his QuickBooks, I guess, didn't click the right box on the page, and so he didn't get verification that the card was ran. And so his accounting or his CPA, whoever, had called him and said, "Hey, we're missing $700,000."
Oh my God. Sorry.
And he was like, "Okay, what do we do?" And he asked his people, and he said, "No, we keep going."
Yeah.
So whether we can find this money, whether we can call these people and get the money that they deserve, we just got to keep going. So those two stories just kind of resonate, the one from years ago and then the one this morning. Like, you hear it over and over again. You listen to the last group, everybody's saying the same thing.
Yep.
There's just 1,000 different ways to say it. You just got to keep going.
Right.
For me, like my first month in business, I did far more than I thought I would do. And now my second month in business, I thought this would be more like my first month. So I've kind of slid back a little bit, and it's uncomfortable. But I'm just going to keep going
That's it.
every
you go.
single day.
That's it.
I love it.
Trust the guidance I'm receiving from, gosh, it seems like everybody here. Bruce, Amanda, Jessica, Trent, it's like everybody. Just trust the guidance, trust the community that I'm so grateful to be a part of, and just keep going.
I love that.
There you go, Steph.
moving
This
forward.
is my
Hi,
sister, by the
Stephanie.
way.
Hey,
I've been
Steph.
on the
Welcome,
podcast
Steph.
a couple
Welcome.
times.
Welcome.
Do you want that one or do you want this one?
No, use
you
use
go.
that.
That
use
one.
that one.
Use the one.
I think that one's
yeah.
easier.
This one?
Yeah. Talking to it. There you go.
Hello.
Hey, Steph.
Hi, Steph.
Welcome.
Hello, everyone.
Let's
Hey,
go.
so this is your first time here, so why don't you introduce yourself and tell us what it is you do, and then what your piece of advice would be.
Cool. So, Stephanie, I'm the older sister to this one, or the only sister and older sister.
Bless you.
Thank you. And let's see. So, I live in Kansas City now, so I'm here visiting my nephew and my brother and my mom. And my dad, too.
More so her nephew.
Yeah, well,
Again, bless you.
yeah. And So I do marketing for, or I have done marketing for startup companies in the snack and beverage world. So I worked at Dots Pretzels
Let's go.
for a long time. And when the buy-off happened with Hershey, I parted ways. My boss parted ways as well. And he has now started Get Coffeed. And so I am working part-time with him in marketing.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it's a new coffee candy with it's caffeinated candy. So
Can you send that to
Yeah,
Tennessee?
yeah,
We have questions.
Yep, I have some. I can give you guys
reminds
some
me, you
let's
gave
get
me a
it.
piece.
Oh yeah, I
I'm
did
gonna
get
eat
you
it
We got
now.
samples.
yeah.
Let's go.
Sorry, this one's mine. You can't.
Yeah. So right now it's mocha latte flavor, but we're working on a caramel.
Oh, Brewster.
Talk,
And it
baby.
has 3 grams of sugar in it. It's 15 calories.
I'm on a diet.
Oh no, it's okay.
Out
You
in the
can
hall.
Okay.
It only has 15 calories. 3 grams
That-
of sugar.
Does it come in that cute little cup?
comes
Casey,
in the cup.
Casey will
Yep.
approve.
And
Okay.
so it has 48 milligrams of caffeine in it. And since it's absorbed in your mouth lining,
Yep.
the caffeine effect hits quicker, about 5 times quicker than if you were to drink an energy drink
thank
or
you,
a
Jackson.
coffee.
That is fire.
And I
So-
also heard that it has the L-theanine in it too. As
It
well.
does. So
Casey's not watching.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't look, Casey.
yeah. So but yeah, it comes in
15
this
calories?
cute little,
You'll be all right.
She's right outside the door.
cute little cup. So yeah.
Wow.
I'm going to a wedding after this. I need this.
Where,
Yeah.
where can we buy it?
So getcoffee.com. We're also on Amazon. And then we're in the Midwest currently, but looking to expand. We really just are 2 years into the world. So
So are chocolate covered coffee beans on your next? Like, is that coming soon? Because
no, I don't think so. I think we'll do a bunch of different flavors of these. We'll look at green tea.
Caffeine.
Yeah,
Green
so it's
tea.
half a cup. That has a half a cup of coffee caffeine. So you have to eat 2 of them for that full. But yeah, yeah.
that's delicious.
So yeah. So and I guess my piece of advice would be, don't quit. You don't quit your day job when you have a bad day, right? So why?
Depends on who you ask.
All the entrepreneurs in the room
Then
go.
you will go get another job.
how many bad
and-
days?
Yeah. So why would you quit on your own dreams?
That's powerful.
Boom.
Don't quit on
So,
your own dreams when you would keep
if you-
working
yeah.
for somebody else's.
Right. And if you don't like it and you go to someone else's, you're just fulfilling their dream, not yours. So,
Girl.
Yeah,
You know?
like it.
so don't quit on yourself, I guess. Don't quit on your business and don't quit on yourself.
Let's go.
There you go.
Man,
You want to
that's
hold it
what
and talk?
I'm not really a fan.
What's your
Not
piece of
really.
advice for
This
it?
is Jackson Sanders, by the
you
way.
can use the one that's on you.
Okay, good.
You
Because
don't,
I
you
don't
don't
want
have
to
to
hold
have
this.
to carry around.
Okay, good. This is Jackson Sanders sitting here with me. I'm happy to have him. He is the son of Kevin Sanders, who is just sitting in that chair over there. So he is the proud son of Sanders Pressure Washing, and he's just sitting in here today, learning a little bit and listening and taking it all in. Amazing kid right here, one of my favorites in the county. Very polite. They do a great job with him, and an amazing soccer player. So
Let's
I'm happy
go.
to have him sitting here rooting for us and watching us today.
Young
and sitting
Messi
next
in
to
the
me.
building.
Messy in the
Messy in the
building.
building.
Young Messi.
Hey, you're getting ready.
Who's your favorite soccer player?
Messi.
There you go.
Hey, you're getting ready to go into middle school, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
you've been all the way through elementary school.
Yes, sir.
What would your advice to be to other kids in elementary school?
You can talk right here. I can get it up to you. There you go.
I'm kind of putting you on the spot here,
It's
so
all good, man.
What
It's
would
all
your
good.
advice be to younger soccer players?
okay, yeah, there we go.
Oh, the other soccer player. There you go.
Skip practice.
Go to practice.
Go to practice.
Yeah, I go to practice and learning lots of cool things, and my coach lets me do a lot of cool things. Like he makes us do rondos, which is really fun. So it's like 3 people have the ball, and there's one defender trying to take the ball away. You have to pass from the defender, and so the defender doesn't have to take the ball away.
Yeah.
Wait, no, that's not wrong. The attacker, I meant. The attacker doesn't have to the attacker has to take the ball away from the defender, but the defender has to pass it to the other two players from the attacker. The attacker trying to take it is what I meant to say.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
Wow.
And keep going, right? Just keep going.
Do you practice a lot at home?
Some.
Some. Yeah.
We heard that your pop said that you're watching videos like of pros and like studying the game and really like diving into the nuts and bolts of being a great. So that's awesome, man. Keep that up. That's what it's all about.
Yep. And one cool thing about him when he plays, I'm gonna brag on you a little bit, is when he doesn't get frustrated. Like if something doesn't go right, he just keeps going. He just
That's
keeps staying
it.
motivated. He motivates his team, and he just keeps going.
That's a leader, man.
You know, and it's just
Yeah.
impressive at his age to see a young kid out there noticing the things that are going wrong, and he just keeps going, and he keeps going with a smile on his face, and he just keeps cheering, and just keeps going. So it's awesome. So super proud of this kid here. You're gonna do great things.
Shouts to
MVP
Jackson,
right
man.
here.
Yeah.
Let's go,
Right?
man. Good
MVP,
stuff, brother.
man.
Good stuff,
Way to
man.
go, kid.
Thanks for
Right.
sharing.
Yes, thank you for sitting with me.
So, Amanda, what's your advice to somebody that's just starting a business or just really going through it?
Oh my goodness. Let's see. Just starting a business.
Aside from joining the ahas.
Aside from joining the ahas, my first thing is going to be become comfortable with being uncomfortable. I say this to every client. I say this to everybody all the time. It is going to hurt. It's going to suck. It's going to be dirty, and that's okay. It is not easy. It's not hard, but it's not easy. Like it's hard, but it's not. And you know, Kevin talked about Elon Musk and the grind. You have to get it. If you want it, you have to get it. I work 14, 15, 16-hour days, and it doesn't stop. And what was the original question? Now I'm getting lost in my own thoughts. I'm sorry. I've had a little bit go on this week.
It was what a piece of advice or encouragement
Okay.
would you have to somebody that's either starting or just in it and really going through it?
Your dreams fuel other people's dreams. Like,
Yeah.
to me, that's what keeps me going. Yes, I'm Amanda Howell from Amanda Howell Agency, but it's not about Amanda Howell. It's about Spread the Positive. It's about Auto Shield. It is about all of those people. If I stop, they stop. How is that? So your dreams, whatever it is, if you want to do coffee beans, if you want to do windshields, it doesn't matter what it is that you want to do. You are there. God gave you a gift. God gave you this talent. And it is up to you. It is your mission, your call, no matter what is going on in your life, to fulfill that call. So even if you're down in the dumps and you have personal things going on in life, if your home life sucks, if this, whatever you have going on, it is your responsibility with that gift to share it with other people. And you never know when you turn around who's looking at you, who are you inspiring in that moment. Yes, the grind, it sucks and it's hard, but if you're really going through it, I guarantee you there's 5 other people going through it with you that you just may not know it. So, you know, the way I came into business was when I was working for another company, our mission didn't line up. Our values didn't line up. I was not where I was called to be. I was fueling one person's dream, giving one person the glory, one person was pocketing the money, and it wasn't helping anybody. This way, by being, you know, Jessica, by doing what you guys do, doing what you do, by what Kevin does, what Pat does, Casey, you're helping other people. And I just think at the end of the day, if you're going through it, if you're struggling, you're like, I don't know what to do, you're fueling someone else. There is always some behind you watching, listening, that you are helping. It's not the you show. It's somebody else.
Yeah.
We have a community that we're responsible for.
You said something very interesting that
Oh, goodness.
you said it, but then moved right past it. But I think you should expound on it.
Okay.
You said it's simple.
It is simple. It may not seem simple, but it's very simple. You knew what you needed to be doing.
It's simple. It's just hard.
It's hard.
So
And
people get those confused.
They do. And it's very simple. It's very easy to open your business. It's very easy to have a name. It's very easy to hand out a business card. What's hard is where do you go from there? What do
Right.
you do with that? It's very simple to get into your calling. What's hard is to make it work and to continuously understand, you know, imposter syndrome is real. We all have it. We all go through it. It is simple but hard, and I love that it's simple but hard. I love the hard. I embrace the hard. The harder it gets, the more I'm going to work at it. So I think that's just something, and I could go on and on and on about simple and hard. I
Right.
just think you really have to embrace that if it's going to be if it's anything worth doing, it's going to be hard doing it. But if you love it, it's simple.
Right.
You know, what I do is not easy. It looks easy, and it's simple to me, but it's still hard. You know,
Right.
if that makes sense. I don't know. I feel like I'm talking in circles.
I'll say something.
Yep.
Oh, are you done?
No, go ahead.
So, and I think too, when you own your own business, it's passion that fuels you.
Amen.
It's not, I have to do this. Where I would go to my job, right? A corporate job, we'll just say that. Every day at 8 o'clock in the morning, my lunch is at noon, I go home at 4. That's just a job.
Yep.
That's not living. I think when you are passionate, that is your calling. You won't quit. It'll be hard, but you'll keep driving. So,
And I think you'll work harder.
Right.
Like I work harder because I love what I got to drive an all electric dump truck yesterday, trash truck. And I was I got to lift it, like handle it. And the guy it was on the right side too, which is weird. The guy was like, nobody else wanted to do this. Like they didn't want to lift it. They were afraid to do it. And I was like, this is my job. This is fun. Like I just got a reignited passion for what I do. Do I market dump trash trucks? No. But do I now have an understanding of a career that can help somebody else and an understanding of how it works? Now I know there's a company in town that can help people get, so it's all about, I love what I do. So I got to do this really cool thing. And now I get to tell you about it, you know?
Right.
I hate to say what I'm going to say because I just thought of next month's topic and I'm probably going to blow it and everybody's going to spend it wouldn't be bad if you spent the next month thinking about it. But I think if we asked everybody that's here in the room, out in the foyer and all of that, you know, why do you do what you do? It's going to be something bigger than the money.
Oh yeah.
Because if it was just the money, we could probably go to a job and work for the same amount of money, maybe even more.
You're going to need a bigger
But
studio for that
it's
conversation.
but I mean, I think for everybody here, there's something bigger than money that makes them be uncomfortable, that makes them do the hard stuff, that makes them, you know, step out of their comfort zone and stay out of their comfort zone.
Absolutely.
And all those kind of things. It's bigger than the money.
It is. And it's bigger than themselves. Like what you
That
do.
too.
Yeah, it's just bigger than you. And I think that's why all of us do what we do. We want to help somebody. We want to provide a service or we want to solve a problem. At the end of the day, you want to solve a problem for somebody. And that's what we all want to do.
Like Business 101, find a problem and solve it.
Exactly. And that's what we all do. In one capacity or another, we're solving somebody else's problem. So it's always about that. And if you can wake up each day and say, today I helped somebody else. Today is about somebody else. Because the days are hard sometimes. I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
Especially when you're going through it and you got stuff going on and you're like, God, I don't want to go. I'm going through this and this. But if you switch that mindset and you're like, okay, it's not about me today. It's about them. What a unique, like for me, that's every day I wake up. And if there's something going on in my life or in my home or my personal life that really sucks, I throw myself into my work. And for me, I'm like, okay, who can I really help today? Who can I just, you help people with financial freedom, right? You give them financial help, freedom. That solves a problem. So at the end of the day, even if you're having a bad day, you're still able to help somebody else have a good day.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
And that's why I do what I do. You know, when I hear somebody, oh, I got a big job, or oh, I got this, oh, I got that, or see a friend go from not working for himself to going to working for himself. That's that. That's what it's for. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
That's where that passion, I don't do it for the money. I never will do it for the money. And if it's about the money, then I need to reevaluate myself because it's all about community.
You're not going to give the money back, though, are you?
No, I'm not giving it back.
Just making sure.
Thank you. Financial planning over here. I'm not giving your money back, bud.
You know, the other thing I was going to say about the simple and the hard is sometimes we complicate it too much, right? It really is. It's hard, but what we got to do is to know what we got to do is simple. Then we overcomplicate it and make
overthink
it
and overdo.
harder than it should be when we just need to do the simple, right?
Yeah.
And if you focus on the simple, not the hard, then, I mean,
True.
there you go.
So
Well,
true.
and I'm going to take it back to what they were talking about earlier, too. It's all up here.
Yeah.
You know, if you can clear this up, if you can not listen to some of this, you know, at least the negative side of it, it becomes much more simpler, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a big affirmations person. I became that through my journey over, really since January 2025. And one of them, I talk about it all the time, is I will act now. Not I will feel now. I will think now. No, I will act now.
Act now.
If I
Wow.
pull up, say it. So for me and my job, I absolutely love doing the actual work. I love setting up on a windshield and repairing it, but it's all the other stuff that I'm not going to say I don't like, but it's just,
It's the same for all of us.
it's just like that stuff takes up so much time.
Right.
I mean, it's probably 80% of my job.
And that's what we all have, right? We all have a ton of time, right?
Yeah.
I think I need
Right.
to steal that affirmation.
Right.
Maybe I would
I will act now. I
so
love
much.
And then the other one I use, which I use, I say so many, but the other one I use all day, every day is I will persist until I succeed. It's so it goes back to not quitting,
Don't quit.
right?
Not
That's
quit, yeah.
that's just something that pops into my head. Both those affirmations are from OG Mandino's, I think it's Greatest Salesman in the World.
Yes, yes.
And so those are just two I took from that real quickly.
Thanks for crediting the author.
Yeah, so that kind of threw me off. But yeah, so you spend so much time of your day doing all the back end stuff.
Right. To get to do the.
To get to
yeah.
do
To get
the
to
fun
do
stuff,
the fun
right?
stuff,
So
yeah.
to get out there with customers and build those relationships and fix those windshields. But it's also interesting how connected everybody is. Like every single one of us in this room can use each other's services. So you guys got the financial freedom. She's driving all over town. Well, when she gets tired, she can get coffee. Oh, and if she gets a rock chip on the way, she can call me.
Right.
And then when she gets home at the end of the night and she's not exhausted and needs to get some exercise, she's got Casey over there.
That's
and
right.
when she needs to analyze, so it's just like everybody in here is connected. Like we all support I feel like we all support each other. We're all here for each other. And Bruce, you own your own business. Amanda, you own your own business. I own my own bit, but we're all in business together. I feel like yes, I own my business, but it's not my own.
Exactly. It's not about you.
It's our business.
None of our businesses are about us.
Yeah.
So it's funny that you say that because I was thinking, well, one, I was like, man, I can't believe we've been here for like an hour and we've still got people in the hallway that we need to flip to. But first of all, mind blown. This has gone so fast. But second of all, you're talking about a community, and that was going to be my answer to what piece of encouragement or advice would be to find your community, to find your people.
Find your tribe.
Because I think it was just I think it was back in December when it was just me, you. and Trent. We talked about how this group has really been a community for people who are in business for themselves or they're some kind of leader or something to be able to come together and support each other because every day is not sunshine and rainbows and there are hard days and bad days and there are clients that test your patience and there's the back end work that drives you crazy that you don't want to do and there's all the there's the stuff that's not fun. And when you've got a community of people who have gone through it, been through it, have overcome it, who have more experience than you, all those different things, and we come together, then, if you're having a bad day, there's somebody that can encourage you that's probably been through the same thing or similar. Yeah. And not only can they encourage you, but they can give you some advice and maybe get you out of it quicker. If you're stuck in a mud pit spinning your tires, or stuck in a cornfield spinning your tires, and and you need to call somebody to help you.
I have no idea what she's talking about.
You call somebody to help you that knows how to get out of the
believe she
field
did
spinning
that.
your tires.
That was
She did. So
incredible.
Nebraska has all these cornfields, and that's where he's from.
But
Oh my God. I'm sweating now.
that's so important
Burn.
though.
Solid burn.
And maybe wherever you're at, maybe you need a team of people to come and encourage you out of that or whatever it is. But find your people.
Yep.
Exactly.
And in Murfreesboro, there are so many groups that you can be a part of. A ton of them are free. So if you're new in business and you're like, I can't afford to join a BNI group, I can't afford to join the chamber or something like that costs, find one that's free. This group is free.
I was going to say, we are free.
Yeah. I mean, you can go next door to Cedar Glade Brews and you can get you a drink. You can hit up the food trucks outside, and we've kind of got a whole little community thing going on here. But man, you can show up with your own Yeti or Stanley or whatever's popular right now, and you can, show up with
change.
your own drink. Right? It'll be something different next month. Well, next month, I don't know. Anyways, it doesn't have to cost you anything. There's the connection on third Thursdays at Champy's. There's some other groups around town. We co-host a group second and fourth Thursdays. That's a seated group, but it's free, so
We have Murfreesboro in Motion on Mondays.
Murfreesboro
and it's
in
free,
Motion on
completely free.
Mondays. There's networking for awesome people. There's so many groups that you can join and be a part of, and you just find your people, and then I think life is so much better in community.
Right. I do too. I love that you brought up in December when it was just the three of us sitting here doing this. And it was so great. But look at what's happened.
Oh, yeah.
Look what's happened just from having community. When I met Pat, and I was telling her about this and kind of talking, and then you met Pat, and then somebody else met Pat, and then Pat came.
Yeah.
And then Casey came. Oh, Casey's always been here.
Yeah, Casey's always been here.
I mean, but it's just cool to see. Now we finally got Kevin Sanders in here. Been trying to do that. Trying to get, we got Katie Coleman out there.
Yeah.
Trying to get people, like, to watch it go from what it was to the community now. We're like, okay, it's, these are all people you can call any day or night.
Yeah. Yep.
You can call me anytime, text any of us, and say, hey.
Amanda won't answer, but you can text her.
You can text me. Don't call me. I'll answer. But text me.
She'll
Solid
answer in
burn.
2 weeks.
See, there's a waiting period. In 5 to 10 business days, I'll get back to you. Solid. See, you're not the only one getting burned and roasted.
Yeah,
here.
there we go.
If you
There we
pay
go.
for her services, she answers. If you're just her friend, she doesn't answer.
If you love
Whoa.
me, oh,
Hey,
Y'all,
no, I
Hey.
was trying to help you out. Like,
She is
I don't
helping me.
want your clients to
No, my
think that you
clients,
don't
I do.
answer.
My
You answer
clients-
your clients. If
I
it's
do
just
answer
your
my
friend
clients.
BSing,
If it's
you
just
don't,
BS,
you may
then I
not
don't have time
answer.
for it.
See, there you go.
I'm willing to bet she's probably got 7 missed calls out on her phone just from sitting in here right now.
And if they're clients, she'll go out there and she'll respond to them.
yep.
I bet she responds to all of them.
I will respond to all of them.
I will.
If you're a friend.
My phone's still out there.
Now,
It's-
if you're a
it's-
friend or family, I'll talk to you in 1 to 2 years. If you're
See,
if you're a
exactly.
client, I will get back to you within the next 2 hours. Like,
There you go. See,
I'm gonna test her. I'm
Yep.
gonna text her and see if she gets back.
Okay.
you're not a
okay.
client. It'll be 2
know.
weeks.
It'll be 2 weeks. And it's not.
I think you're the one that forgets to respond.
Hey, Rhett,
Yeah.
why don't you tell the people out there that they need to come in
to
here?
come on in.
So
Can
we
you
gotta
do that?
we got to get Katie in here.
Yeah,
let's
we
get
need
Katie in
Katie,
here.
and I think
And the
Macy's
others.
out there, and
Macy and Katie. I don't know who else is out there.
Quintez is out there. We need him to come in.
I can definitely pass this off.
Yes.
Quintez,
Thank you.
come
Hey, I'll
on
take
in.
another
Have a
one.
seat.
Come in. There's Macy.
Have a seat.
All right, black chair over there has its own
I'm
mic.
moving out.
Oh, my man Daniel is in the house, y'all.
for Jessica.
Oh,
She's in
my
there.
guy. Listen, I don't know if y'all were ready for somebody to bring the word, but if there was somebody to bring the word, it would be my man Daniel. All right, so question of the day. Y'all have probably been listening a little bit outside, but question of the day is, if you're talking to somebody that's just getting started in a business, branching out, doing something new, or maybe they're just at a spot in life where they're really going through it, what is a piece of advice or encouragement or both that you would give them in this season? And if you're new here, if you haven't been live before, well, Katie, you're the only one that's been here before. So you other three, introduce yourself, tell us what it is you do real quick, and then give your piece of advice.
All right, my name is Quintez Nelson, Coach Q. I'm certified personal trainer, certified stretch therapy. The motto at New Motion is stretch, recover, and thrive. Coach Q.
Awesome. So where do you, since you said that, where do you work from? Do you have a gym that you work out of? Are you in-home, virtual? What all do you have going on?
So I have I partner with Elite Physical Therapy in Shelbyville. That's my brick and mortar where I work at, but I'm mobile, and I am having a location here in Murfreesboro. I'm not ready just yet to disclose where that's going to be, but that's in the work. And, if you have any range of motion issues or some pain, I'm the guy.
Awesome. All right. What's your advice or encouragement?
Just stay the course. you know, it's been written in history throughout the Bible. I don't know if you guys are, follow Jesus Christ, but throughout every new adventure or every new thing that you try in life, it always is followed with adversity. If you think about when Jesus Christ was baptized, right behind it, he went into the wilderness like immediate. The Bible says immediately he went into the wilderness and was tempted. So I would tell you to understand that anything that you do that's new is going to have an immediate challenge right behind it. Stay the
Amen.
course.
Amen. Somebody said that earlier, and they talked about how, and you can expand on this, but they mentioned, most people, when they start going through it, when they start meeting adversity, they go, oh, I guess God doesn't want me to do this. I better give up. When really it's the opposite, right?
It's the opposite. And that's where you have to follow patterns in the Bible. Even Joseph, when he was called to, he had a coat of many colors.
Right.
His brothers didn't like him, all this.
Sold him,
right. But we see hindsight 2020, right?
Right.
We
He
see
saved
who
two
was.
nations.
Right.
Yeah.
He saved two nations. Amen.
Without that adversity, two nations of people would have died in a famine.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's good stuff, man. Good word. Good word. Awesome. All right, Macy, please introduce yourself. This is my girl, Macy. I don't know what I did with my life before her. When people ask me for an attorney, I don't know what I said before Macy came along, because I think every week I'm like, hey, Macy, do you handle this, or who do you know that does? Hey, Macy, do you handle this, or who do you know that does? And she always has an answer.
I try to be a resource for solutions.
She is a resource for solutions.
So my name's Macy. I own Attorney Services and Support. It is a outsourcing legal process type of business. Mostly, I focus on helping other attorneys do their job better. But also, I've been trying to incorporate helping small business owners, giving advice and that kind of thing. And then, I forgot, what was the question?
Question is, for somebody that's starting something new, starting a new business, or just really going through it, piece of advice or encouragement?
Just don't stop. It's hard. It's always going to be hard. Every day is going to be hard. There might be a day here and there that's not so hard, where you feel like you might have it. But the one thing that I think that has really helped me get through those days, those hard days, is remembering, if I'm not struggling, I'm not living.
Wow. So embrace the discomfort, right?
Yes.
That seems to be a theme.
Yeah.
Everybody seems to be saying the same thing. Get comfortable being uncomfortable.
That's all I got.
Okay. All right, Katie, you're up. What's your advice? Katie has some good stuff to say too. Katie is an encouraging person. She's like a Barnabas.
Oh my gosh,
she really
Jessica,
is.
That is crazy that you say that, because that's when I'm like praying with the Lord. That's what He calls me, is Barnabas.
You are.
Thank you.
That is your.
That is crazy.
It radiates from you.
Thank you. Well, I love this question too, because this is like what I do every day. So this is my bread and butter. Love this stuff. But most every day I'm talking to folks who are in the throes of starting a business in the first year or less usually, and that's the hardest time often for folks. And I would just say, remember your why. Remember why you're doing this, because especially in the context of starting a business, every single person has gifts to give the world, and gifts are meant to be given. They are meant to be shared with the world and not kept to yourself. And so when you think about that, that's a big reason why a lot of people start businesses, and the world needs what you have. So the world needs your stretching. The world needs your attorneying. I don't know what you do yet, but I know the world needs it.
Amen to that.
And so I think that's a big part of it, is just keeping that why really close to your heart, because it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when things are going to get tough. And they always do, especially when you're starting something new. If you want to talk practical, tactical business advice, my go-to is start with doing the job. A lot of people that start a business and are just getting into it get hung up on things like, I need a website, I need an LLC, I need a business license, I need branding, I need an Instagram, I need custom t-shirts. And all of those things are good and they're needed and they have their place and they have their time. But the thing that makes your business a business is income. So you want to make sure that you're doing the things that you need to be doing and prioritizing to make money. And that's how you are able to afford the rest of the stuff. So if you don't know where you're going, if you're kind of stuck, you know, you have this idea or this business idea that you want to get out there, start by doing the thing, making the money, doing the activity. And oftentimes a lot of it can come faster than you think. So like people see the vision, right, which is wonderful. Most entrepreneurs are visionaries, and that's why they are where they are. And they're in the spot of wanting to start a business, and that's wonderful. But they see the vision, and they see where it could go, and they see the long term and everything that needs to happen in between now and then. And they forget often to start with just executing the work so that they can start making the money to bring it in and then building from there. So that's kind of the go-to like business advice for folks that are thinking about it.
That's good advice though. And it's really similar to what got said in the last group of people was, you know, just you have to do it. Like whatever it is, don't put it off, you know, but go out and do it. So if you're washing windows, if that's your business, you can have a really cool logo, but if you don't wash any windows, well, then you really don't have a business. You got to go wash some windows. Right. And we have a tendency to procrastinate. Travis said his affirmation was, what was it? It wasn't just do it.
I will act now.
I will act now. I will act now. And so many of us, I mean, if you look up procrastinator into the dictionary, it's this right here. It's my face. But if we would just act now on the thing that moves the needle, I think a lot of us are more willing to push paper and piddle around with stuff that doesn't really matter and not do the stuff that really moves the needle in our business. So,
and in business owners' defense, particularly solopreneurs who are wearing every hat in their business and are the delivery, the management, the accounting, the marketing, the social media, everything. You know, it's very easy to get in that mode of not being able to prioritize what moves the needle because you're doing everything.
Right. It is. It is hard.
And
Can I say something what she said?
Sure. Yeah.
So she was talking about, you said something about fruit, right? Or
did I?
No, you said something about our gift is for not
others.
us, it's for others, right? And you think about a fruit tree. Does the tree eat the fruit?
No. Good.
The fruit on the tree is for the other people.
Oh wow.
It's not for the tree to consume. And that's the mentality of that entrepreneur. That's what we have to be able to embrace and remember. And here's the thing, when we give fruit and we do it well, you know, you want to get paid, but really the money is just a certificate of how well you do your job.
Right.
True.
Right.
True. And the fruit is also to multiply. When you said that, the fruit is also to multiply. The seed is in the fruit.
That's really good.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And entrepreneurship is hard, right? It's not for everybody. But most people do it because they have these passions. I hope, right? In my mind, right? I really hope that most people do it because they have these passions, skills, and talents that they want to share with the world and make money doing it. You should make money doing it because you're sharing a piece of you with the world.
And one of the things that I said earlier was I bet, and it's really cool that you just said it, I bet that everybody here tonight has something bigger than money. Everybody that's an entrepreneur, everybody that's doing a new venture or, maybe writing books, doing podcasts, things like that, they, it's something bigger than the money. Because if it was just the money, we could go work for somebody else and make the money.
That's so true.
But there's something bigger than the money that makes us want to do something different, that makes us take the nose and do the hard things and be uncomfortable. So that's good stuff. All right. Daniel, your microphone on your chair actually works. I know you had some important conversations you were scheduled to have. I don't know if those happened or if they can be alluded to. Oh, no. All right. Well, we gotta fix that. But you did just write a book.
I did.
And it is available for sale on Amazon.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Tell us the name of it.
It's Don't Be Afraid of the Lion's Roar, The Journey to Freedom from Abuse. Yeah. So I am not, I'm probably one of those guys that's not in the entrepreneur arena. I'm not against it, but as of right now, that's not kind of where God has wired me up. But
He did wire you to write a book, and that's why you're here.
He did. But two things that come to my mind in regards to the question is, number one, Jesus talked about counting the cost. So as it relates to starting a business, developing the strategy or whatever, you need to count the cost. And so that would be the one concept. And then the other thought was what Jesus also said was, in this world you will have tribulation, trouble, problems. So in the business aspect, there's going to be, as you were talking about, those tensions. But then he goes on and says, but be of good cheer, I have overcome the world. So in reference to what I believe that I could bring to the table, I consider myself, I've kind of given myself the label as a joy jumper. So you think about the battery cables that you use to jump a battery. Well, I believe that God has wired me in such a way that I have a certain level of joy in life in spite of circumstances that he's been able to utilize me in to be able to offer joy and hope and just being able to overcome circumstances because he's walked me through a series of circumstances in my life. And so I believe that's one of the things that he has downloaded in me, the gift of joy and being able to persevere through those hard times, those hard places. And so that's what I would say is count the cost and remain joyful, remain hopeful, knowing that adversity in that business venture is it's able to be overcome.
Yeah. And that I'm just guessing that you may have met some adversity when writing your book.
Oh, absolutely.
And some of it may have been yourself in procrastinating.
Oh, absolutely. 16 years worth.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. So much so that I heard the Lord clearly telling me way back in the beginning, write your story, write your story, write your story. For years, I kept hearing it. And then one day in 2021, he decided he was not going to continue telling me this. Wow. He made me do it by putting me down and causing my Achilles to be ruptured on my 17th wedding anniversary cruise. Wow. Day two. And in retrospect, he reminded me, I did that because in 8 weeks while I was down, I wrote the book. And so he taught me some major lessons of doing what I told you to do and do it quickly. So
do it now.
Yeah.
Doing it quickly.
Do it now. Yeah. Do it now. Man, that's good stuff. I think we're probably well over an hour now, and I think we've gotten it. Is there anybody left in the hallway? Did we miss anybody? I think we got everybody.
I think so.
So probably a good time to wrap up. But man, what good stuff. So I think the short version of what everybody said was just don't give up. It doesn't matter how hard it gets. It doesn't matter how long it takes. Just don't quit. And I will give my favorite quote, Vince Lombardi. He said, I never lost a game. I only ran out of time. So just don't quit. You know, that was his thing. If they hadn't called time on him, his team would have won. They just ran out of time. So don't ever call time on yourself. Don't ever quit. And for everybody listening, hey, the conversation doesn't end when we turn the cameras off. We head out that door right there, and the conversation continues. And it continues over at Cedar Glade Brews. It continues out at the food truck. It continues in the hallway. It continues outside. This is a conversation that just continues and continues. And if you need a community to be a part of, or you want a community to be a part of, this is one that will embrace you and encourage you and introduce you to the kind of people that you need. I think most of the conversations that come out of here are, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I met you. You need to meet so and so. I need to introduce you to so and so. And connections are made, businesses are built, relationships are strengthened and created, and that's exactly what we want to come out of Fourth Friday Fun Working. So, couple of plugs. One is 1200 Club for Spread the Positive. If you are looking for ways to advertise your business, maybe you've got something to say, you want to get it out there, talk to Trent about the 1200 Club. It's $100 a month. You get a certain number of podcasts. Your commercial is on a certain number of podcasts. There's other types of commercial packages that Spread the Positive does. There's tons of podcasts that come out of this room that are live, that are recorded, that go on all kinds of platforms. So if you're wanting to advertise your business, your organization, whatever it is you've got going on, this is a great place to advertise it, because the people who listen are definitely going to be the kind of people that you're looking for. Make sure you come to Fourth Friday. Just like we've been swapping up people, you see it's not the same people the whole time, except you're stuck with me and Trent because we're the hosts. And so there's a lot of conversation that happens outside, inside, and all over the building. And there's probably people hanging out there that aren't even going to come in because they don't want to be on camera. That's not their thing, and that's okay. We want you guys here too. So I think that's... is that all the shameless plugs?
Yeah, you killed that. Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. Hey, I got told this week that I do your spiel better than you do.
I would not be
I
surprised.
sound like I'm your employee, which I'm not. I'm not, but
hey, yeah, you're doing it. And thank you. Yeah, thank you to everybody that came out, everybody that's here, everybody that's chimed in. I do have a couple comments that are pretty awesome. We've got somebody from Morocco chiming in.
Wow.
And Denise Reed said, that's really good. Richard Fleek is bummed he's missing it.
Oh, Richard.
Yeah.
Well wishes. Hope he...
prayers up for Richard. He just had some serious surgery, so shouts to my guy, Richard.
Yeah.
Barnaby. I know, as soon as you said Barnabas, guy, Barnaby MRK, he says, hi, guys, with some smiley faces. So anyway, and Jen's chiming in. Casey said we did cover everybody, so I think it's a good place to wrap it up. Super pumped for Fourth Friday. We had a lot of engagement. We had a lot of viewership, and man, it's growing. It's really cool what this is turning into. Thank you to everybody that came out.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll wrap this one up.
Yeah. All right. Happy Fourth Friday.
Happy Fourth Friday. Fun working.
Because you're not working on Friday, you might as well be networking.
That's right. We'll see y'all on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.